Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I am back with how to kill a kit with style for a new process video. And if you guys haven't seen my kit share yet for July, I'll have the playlist linked down below so you guys can check it out. This is the second layout I've made with this kit. The first one was over on Patreon and I finally got to use one of these beautiful ornate die cut sheets from K&Company, and I'm pairing that with a beautiful yellow pattern paper from this DCWV set called Honey Deer. And I definitely haven't used this paper pad enough yet, so I'm really glad to be utilizing another piece of it. As you guys might remember, this current How to Kill a Kit with Style does not have a ton of 12x12 papers in it, so I did anticipate having to pull out a lot from my stash for the papers for my pages, which is fine. I don't mind being a kit cheater, and my actual layout changes a bunch during this process. So hopefully you guys enjoy the little bit of differences that change. I thought I was going to go with this warm tone colored palette using this piece of paper from the Wild Heart collection, and then pairing it with some of the other paper pad pieces from my kit, but that'll change soon. So I do look through here. I didn't really want to bring in a ton of pink, but I end up bringing in a little bit of pink in this instance because of that background paper. And then, as always, I jump straight to some embellishment so I can get my mind around what I might want to do for some clusters. That is definitely where my head always goes first, is where can I fit clusters onto this page? Where will the journaling go? Where will the title go? And just making sure I have room for all of those elements. This photo is actually of myself, my brother, and my dad when they came to visit me in Florida last February, so just a few months ago. It's hard to believe that it was just a bit ago, but I think it was February. Man, time flies when you're having fun, but I think this was a really fun trip because this was their first time being back to Universal in a few years. And anytime you go back to something that's so nostalgic like the theme parks are for us, it is just such a great memory. And this is, of course, a group picture at the entrance to City Walk. So we really had a lot of fun on this trip. And the color scheme was inspired by my dad's shirt, which is a nice peachy orange. And as I go through my die cut binder here, I've gone through one already but didn't pull anything out. The second one, however, is full of color-coded die cuts. So I skipped the yellow and orange section and try to pull some stuff out of that. Got a couple gold and white accents, some from Heidi Swap, some from Project Life. And I'm not sure I mentioned it already, but that die cut piece that I put on top of my background paper is by K&Company. I don't believe they're easily found anymore. I bought mine a few years ago at a discount store, so it was just happenstance that I found them, but it is really beautiful, and I'm so glad I get to feature it on a layout. So I end up finding this die cut in my stash that says This Way to Adventure, which is so perfect for kicking off a theme park section of an album. And then I pair that with a freckled fawn wood veneer that says yeah. And now I'm going to move on to my paper layers beneath my photo. So I go all out and actually pick out 4. And this is where my color scheme kind of gets solidified. So I end up picking out a beautiful butterfly piece from Craftsmith, a wood grain from Lawn Fawn, and then a peach triangular pattern from MFT, as well as this yellow rainbow one from Lawn Fawn. It's really interesting because these card making companies do make paper, which again are usually meant for cards, but Lawn Fawn also does make scrapbooking paper, which I haven't had any in a while, but I know that I really love their paper and I love their colors and simple patterns, and sometimes you just really want the pops of color, and this is a great way to get them by introducing them into your layers. And no, these are very thin photo layers. I know some people don't like the thin look, but it really does help solidify that these colors are the color scheme, and this is a great way to essentially introduce new colors. So right now I don't really have that brown color introduced well on this layout, but that'll eventually become more prominent in the layout as it goes on. But I did want to solidify that peachy red color from the die cut background, and then also the yellow from the background, and put them onto these photo layers to help it give it another pop and cohesiveness. So since I have all these die cuts pulled out, I'm going to start creating some clusters. Now my page does get a little bit out of frame here, and I do apologize. I am working with a new camera setup, so hopefully I can alter it before the next one. And I do work on a cluster to the top right of the photo, which ends up growing a lot larger, and then one to the left of the photo, which again will grow a lot larger. And then I'm also thinking that I will have a cluster in the top left where that little camera is sitting. But I need a larger die cut or a larger something to essentially help build that out. here's where I decide that I need a pocket page card to put my journaling on or to just have there as a basis. Sometimes it's really hard to fill out a layout, especially with such an intricate background like this one that I have. So if you guys are working with cut files or something like this that's pre-cut for you, sometimes what you need to do is add something else so that it takes up a little bit more space and so that your photo feels like a more prominent piece in the layout itself. So that the die cut piece in the background doesn't overwhelm your photo, I'm attaching here a pocket page card that I can journal on, which is from Teresa Collins, and building out a cluster beneath it so it all kind of comes together as one cluster here at the bottom and kind of just helps balance out how intricate the die cuts are at the top, and while still letting that die cut breathe and have that visibility that it needs, because it's got birds and flowers and dragonflies and it's very ornate and beautiful. But if I don't give it enough space, it might feel like it's wasted, it might feel way too busy. So I do give it plenty of white space towards the top and put the focus towards the bottom with my photo. Now, like I said, I am doing a cluster up here just to help balance out what's going on at the bottom, because if I don't bring up the colors to the top, it'll just feel unbalanced. So I do pull out a flower die cut and then 2 more K & Company die cuts, which coordinate very well with the background paper here. And I decide to open my Scotch Quick Dry glue, which I recently found thanks to my craft room rearrange. And I'm going to just use the bottle itself. I've been having a lot of issues with my fine line bottles, and I used to adore them, so I'm kind of heartbroken. I don't know if I need to buy a new one or what's happening, but I will figure out a way to keep using my Scotch Quick Dry even if it's in this bottle instead. Supposedly I've heard that caps just fit on top of this bottle, so if you guys know what cap will fit on top of this bottle, please leave a link down below so I can have a fine line bottle of Scotch Quick Dry again, because I do dearly miss it in that bottle. So here I put it into place and end up getting glue all over my hands because it was a larger tip of glue, so a lot of excess glue came out. But as I glue down these pieces, I just want to make sure that it's secure because it is so ornate. If I had spray adhesive or something else, maybe I would have gone that route, but I didn't have any of that on hand. So it was just liquid glue for where I could put it and calling it a day. So now I can actually start building my entire piece, and I put the photo into place and then I start gluing down my title, which again is that arrow that points to the title of the resort, and then the wood veneer underneath it. So This Way to Adventure, yeah, which is kind of a funny title, but I really like putting words together to create a custom title. And then here I got to use one of my new Heidi Swap ticket pieces, and if you guys are not part of Patreon, I did a quick little haul over there. Thanks to some retail therapy, I bought some fun things and some great deals, but they got a sneak peek of that in the upcoming behind the scenes vlog. And I'm going to start building out my cluster on the left-hand side, which again includes that Teresa Collins pocket page card, a Studio Calico vellum geo tag, I believe that's what they're called, a little acetate piece from Pink Paisley C'est La Vie, an October Afternoon piece, another little wood veneer camera, and then a K & Company label. And it just kind of comes together. So that acetate piece says play hard. I think there's also one that says work hard, but I couldn't find it. And again, this is a vacation, so play hard makes the most sense. And then I'm going to start building out my top left cluster. But then I realized I haven't used any washi tape on this layout, and you guys know I'm trying to use more washi tape up this year, and I actually just wrote out some goals for the last half of 2020. If you guys are interested in hearing about those, let me know in the comments down below so I can share with you guys sort of what I want to use up, what I want to do, and all of that. And in the midst of putting down this washi tape, I accidentally picked up the wood veneer camera again, and it's not really adhering to the acetate, so I decided to grab a glue dot and put that underneath it instead to help it stay in place. So this beautiful red and orange chevron washi tape really matches the color scheme of this layout and will help give this cluster a little bit more life up here. And that, I really love how it turned out. And to add some final touches, I go back to some of these brand new Heidi Swap stickers that I have and start adding more gold foil. So I use an arrow piece at the top and then some of these phrase stickers to help add that mirrored gold look like I had on the acetate piece and the ticket on the right hand side. So back to my actual kit, I am looking for some additional final touch embellishments. I did try to audition these red stars that I'm trying to use up, but they just weren't the right shade. I do find these puffy stickers, which are from Recollections, and actually add a couple of those. So there's some hearts, I add some flowers, And sometimes I feel like we don't let ourselves have fun with themes. So yes, this is a theme park layout, but I use this beautiful ornate background that really has nothing to do with theme parks. It's just really fun and interesting. And sometimes I think we often help ourselves by putting ourselves into a corner and thinking, yes, I should use theme supplies for these pages, but then we often don't let ourselves explore new things. And lastly, for this layout, I do have an empty, I finished off this cork sticker sheet set that I've had for ages. It was from Oriental Trading, and I'm just going to add some adhesive under those pieces just to add extra texture to this page. And I do like the idea that it's close to the craft brown that is used on the journaling card. But that is it for this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the new setup, and let me know what you think of this layout. It's got a lot going on, but I think I handled the ornate background very well, and you can see that yellow pattern through it, which is busy but not too busy. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of all of these different products on one layout together. And I really do hope you enjoyed. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already to see more. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.